What does frugal living look like to you? It could be clipping coupons, saving every penny, but that's not really what it means to be frugal. It is taking an economical approach to the funds that you have, making sure that every dollar does produce value. That is really the way, not the accumulation of things that we see a lot of people do, but making sure that we do have value when it comes to frugal living. That's going to be what we're covering today, guys. The 12 steps that you can incorporate into your life to be a little more frugal, not going really to the extreme, but adding it to a little bit to your life. And I'm also going to be sharing it to some of the reasons and some of the methods that I've used to use it in my life. Number one, choosing the quality over the quantity. Now, this, of course, is very important when it comes to clothing, when it comes to furniture, when it comes to appliances. Putting a little bit more money up front can save you an incredible amount of money in the long term. Instead of buying 5 very inexpensive sweaters, buying one better sweater could last 5, even possibly more years, making it a lot more cost efficient and a lot more quality than what you're doing with the quantity of buying a cheap product that you're going to go ahead and recycle over and over and over. Now, we can see this again, purchasing the higher quality or the higher cost goods. And make sure, guys, because a lot of times, even though something is more expensive, it could actually be a little bit less of the quality. That is what you're looking for, and that is going to be the focus that you're looking to really do when you're choosing the quality over the quantity that you're getting in here. Number two, prioritizing the value over the price. Now, this is very similar to the last one, but this one doesn't always look for the cheapest item, which again, a lot of people are kind of coined as being frugal or as being cheap. It is valuing and really taking the value in what are you going to get out of it versus the price. Now, we can see this a lot when shopping at bulk. So if you're looking at Sam's Club, if you're looking at your BJ's, looking at your Costco, initially paying more money up front saves you incredible amount of money and allows your dollar to go much further. Now, I can attest for this, guys. When we buy toilet paper, when you buy paper towel, when you buy paper plates, a lot of the paper items in bulk at some of those outlet stores will actually give you a much cheaper per item cost, which is a lot of what they break down. Now, whether it's a physical item or a product or service that you're looking to buy, make sure that you're getting the value for the price that you're getting out of it and not really buying something again that is going to be more expensive in the short term versus opting to spend a little bit more and get more effectiveness or more value out of it in the long term. Number three, using credit wisely. Frugality is all about living below your means, guys. You have your paycheck, you have what is going out. What you have left over is what you have available for debt repayment. That's what you have available for living expenses. Everything that you have at the end of the month, once you've paid all of the primary things, really is what you have. With the credit, utilizing credit wisely, make sure you're not having too much debt. This, of course, can really, again, be incorporated into a lot of different people's lives. Carrying an incredible amount of debt gives away your paycheck, which is your most powerful tool when it comes to being frugal and also when it comes to debt and wealth creation. It is about saving money and making sure you're practicing healthy habits when it comes to credit cards if you choose to use credit cards. Now, number four, decluttering regularly. This is kind of one of the big frugal things that I love. Keeping possessions organized, keeping them decluttered will really serve as a multi-purpose facet, meaning that if one item comes in, one item goes out, it will also keep you from buying things over and over and over because you'll know your regular inventory and you'll know exactly what you have. Now, decluttering can be a huge chore for a majority of people, but if you do it in little by little, I mean, even if you focus on, let's say, one thing every week or two, and also selling items that you no longer use, if you haven't touched it within the last 6 months, it is time to get rid of it, guys. Number five, we get into using a budget, and this is the guide for the spending. This can hold you accountable. Now, there's a couple different methodologies behind this. The one that I do utilize is zero-based budgeting, meaning that we plan all of the spending ahead of time. We know exactly what it is down to the dollar, how much we're going to be spending. That way we know exactly how much we have that is going out in expenses and also how much we have at the end of the month. Now, this is a very, very detailed budget to get zero-based budgeting. Some people do the 50-30-20 rule or the cash envelope system to really make sure that they're on track when it comes to budgeting. Now, number six, knowing the difference between wants and needs. This is one of the most basic and fundamental things that we are taught. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade. What is a need? What is a want? I have a second grader right now, and they went through this exact same exercise. Yet we have people in their 30s, 40s, or even, higher in age that do not understand the need or the difference between a need and a want. You have to know exactly what you need to live. You're talking food, you're talking shelter, you're talking transportation. Those are some of the major needs. When you look at the want category, it is having the luxuries that we do really enjoy as Americans. When it comes to having access to, cable TV, when it comes to streaming services, Wi-Fi, internet, a lot of things that we kind of take for granted, a lot of people do not have in a bunch of different places. Now, this doesn't mean being frugal, you can't splurge on anything, but you also have to recognize and budget, making conscious decisions on what you're going to get and what price you're going to pay for it. Number 7, being a savvy consumer. Now, this again is something that I really feel like a lot of people could save. When you're looking at product warranties, when you're looking at price match policies, price adjustments, coupons, discounts, things that you can get the exact same product and service that you're looking for at a discounted rate makes it more of a value because you're not paying as much for the same thing that you wanted. Now, majority of product warranties, I know people do not buy, and it's funny enough because that little rectangle card that comes with all your appliances, even your smaller appliances. That is a registration card for your product. Make sure you're filling those out, guys. If there's recalls, if there's factory recalls, if something breaks before the warranty ends, you have to make sure that that card has been registered. That way you can ensure that you can get a product back that is going to be of equal or greater value, which a lot of them do. Now, in addition, coupons and discounts, make sure you're clipping coupons if you have the ability. Using cashback cards, which again, some people do recommend. If you're paying it off in full, it is a little bit that you're actually getting of a bonus, but a lot of people say just stick to the debit cards. That way it is paid for. And also making sure that you're using discounts online. Online, of course, you have a plethora of sites that have discounts, guys. When you look at everything from Rakuten to, every site, I mean, coupons.com, you can find discounts and you can find rebates. And I know even on my Edge browser, it automatically applies all discounts that are available, finds me the best one and goes ahead and plugs that one in. Now, number 8, prioritizing your values. Keeping your cost lows in some category will free up money in other categories, really putting value into what you want the most within life. If it is, going out with your family, if it is traveling, vacationing, cutting back on some of the physical items that you have can give you the money to actually take those vacations, making sure what is most important to you, cutting back on clothing, cutting back on technology, cutting back on those things to have the entertainment and the life experiences that a lot of people want is a big part of being frugal. Is when you actually want to do something, you have the money to, and you also do have the means to, because again, you've kind of cut back in a lot of other things. Number 9, audit your spending and your bills at least on a monthly basis. Now, automating your savings is probably one of the biggest things that I recommend, guys. When it comes to 401k, when it comes to contributions into savings accounts, you need to automate it, and you need to automate it because you're going to overspend. You're going to spend money where you don't need to. And really, if you look at your budgeting, you want to make sure that the emergency fund is set aside. You want to make sure that you have that 401k contribution set aside, that you're saving retirement and in the long run. Now, with this, guys, going through really redefining exactly what you have, eliminating gym memberships, online memberships, streaming services, anything that you haven't used in the past 90 days, it is time to entirely eliminate it. Also includes reducing. When you look at a lot of things that either you bought for your home or looking at refinancing cars, consolidating credit card debt, paying down or negotiating, your rent, you can negotiate pretty much everything from phone bills to insurance to, a lot of premiums you can get cheaper or even going to a competitor to make it and reduce the amount that you have. And then, of course, guys, negotiating. See if you can negotiate with anything to get it cheaper. It is really a huge, huge method to become frugal and really save some money. Now, number 10, creating boundaries for yourself. This is the impulse shopping. Now, we've actually done a couple of videos on the impulse shopping. Majority of people spend roughly $2,000 a year in impulse shopping. That is kind of crazy that if you're looking to buy something and it is not something that you planned on buying, sit on it for 24, 48 hours, give it a day or two, really see if it is a purchase that you need. If at that time, you still feel that it is very important to make the financial decision to purchase it, go ahead and purchase it, guys. A lot of people will impulse shop, and a lot of people will buy things that they don't need, nor can they afford, and then they do regret it later. Two more on this list, guys. Number 11, learn grocery shopping strategies. This is huge, guys. When it comes to money saving, making a list is probably one of the most biggest impactful things that I've used. So when you go to a grocery store, you have thousands of items literally under one roof. If you have a specific list of the items you need, do not stray from the list. Make sure you're going through and picking out that list. Now, in addition, using coupons, using discount codes, using rewards programs, which a lot of them are completely free, is going to save you some money on groceries, which for a majority of us is super expensive right now when it comes to the grocery store. And the final one, guys, buying used before buying new. This is one of the things that is really coined with the frugal, looking at thrift stores, looking at consignment stores, online marketplace, garage sales, even Facebook marketplace, looking at some of the retailers, even buying things in the season prior. For instance, right now we are going into the winter months, which means there's an absolute discount on anything summer related. If it's shorts, if it's bathing suits, swimsuits, whatever it may be, you can get them for almost 80% off, which is kind of crazy. So literally a lot of stores at this point in time, and it does go through kind of a cycle, are trying to eliminate all of the inventory. So literally anything that they have left in the stores is going to be deeply discounted, which again, looking at 70, 80% off, you can get it very, very cheap. Now, there's also a lot of places when, again, looking at used cars have as much, if not more value, in my opinion, than new cars. Cars lose up to 20% of the value in their first year and roughly 15% through the next 5 years, which is kind of crazy. So you're losing almost 30%, if not more, depending on the make and model of the car that you just purchased. Getting it secondhand, they've already had all of that depreciation, and you can find a quality vehicle with low miles that is going to be well within your budget. Now, the bottom line on here, guys, living a frugal lifestyle does require a little bit of a shift in habits, but overall, if you can change one or two things, even using some of these points, can make a really big difference in your budget, in your day-to-day life, and really finding out what is important when it comes to you and yourself. So that'll do it for today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.